Okay, welcome to this special Halloween podcast. We're going to talk about like horror films or films that could be horror related, kind of in the way like Kim Newman calls them nightmare movies. I think is the best way to put it. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, and basically, my suggestion was we just talk about films that aren't talked about as much. Because I know in my channel I'm already doing like series of like horror series really, like I've done like Halloween, I'm doing the zombie movies, the remember zombie movies, but this is just a bit off to the side. I'm just talking about horror films. So Ronan, what's your take on horror? What do you like in horror?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not the biggest horror fan. Even though I'll probably find out I've got rather a lot of horror films. I don't know, I think it's more the creepy, unsettling stuff. Obviously, the kind of biggest series that I do like is Hellraiser. I'm not the biggest Halloween or Friday the 13th fan. But it's more the older stuff that's creepier and more atmospheric rather than granted I do have quite a lot of zombie films, but yeah, I'll find as we're talking through this I've actually got quite a lot of these, but
yeah,
you know, I wouldn't particularly say I'm a horror collector, even though I do end up having quite a lot of horror films.
Yeah, many versions of thing do you have? Many versions of thing do you have?
I've probably got about 8 different editions.
Right.
But is that really a horror film? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Sci-fi horror, existential threat. It's a perfect nightmare movie, really, because it covers so much.
Yeah, I mean, The Thing is obviously one of my favourite films, strangely enough. That's why I have multiple editions of it. Again, I remember growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch it whenever it was in the television. The same with Alien. So it was only later when I actually saw it. And was obviously blown away by it.
Yeah, I saw The Thing when I got it on video from one of the local video shops, and it freaked me out completely. I think I was like 14, 15, and it just freaked me out. It was like, it took me a while to really like it because I probably saw it a little too young, and it just did something weird because it was just so much beyond what I expected because it was so disturbing, and it's still disturbing. Yeah,
because once it kicks off, it can just be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And again, it's just that wonderful idea of you just don't know who everybody is. And it's the same thing from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, especially the original. You just don't know who people are, and that's one of the kind of base fears that we all have, I think. The people that you think you know aren't actually the people you know.
Yeah, I mean, I like stuff like The Thing and Invasion of the Body Snatchers more than something like Alien, which is just a monster. Alien's a good film, and so is Aliens. There's some of those films in the series I like, but I much prefer something like The Thing because I think it's more disturbing and it's more you just get under your skin more, and it's something creepy. And I mentioned in my zombie thing I'm it's up next week, or it'll be out by the time this video goes up. Is the zombies freak me out? The zombies under my skin in a weird way I can't quite. There's just something about them that just goes when you go, ugh. But yeah, I mean, I've been laughed at for that quite a few times. But it's just something.
Slow zombies or fast zombies?
Slow. It's basically remember zombies because I think he does them creepy. I think a lot of other directors don't know how to shoot them to make them creepy, but he knows how to do that. But zombies get me.
Yeah.
And there's other.
Sorry. I was just going to say it is funny that the number of horror films or science fiction films that we've grown up that we didn't actually see on the big screen. It's only on home video, and home video is responsible for so much of our nightmares and horror experiences. Yeah,
it is kind of weird. It's a weird thing. Remember the film Tremors?
Yes.
I saw that in video, and then my local cinema showed it in the cinema because it was so slow and so late coming through that I ended up seeing it in video Then a week after it came out in the cinema, and I was like, I'm gonna sit in the cinema now.
Yeah.
Because I liked it so much. It's like, yeah, go on, do it.
Tremors is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
a perfect example of a low budget creature feature that you don't see much of the creatures, and it just worked brilliantly.
Yeah, it shows you how to do it right, how to do
Yeah.
scary right. One of the other ones that really kind of got me when I saw it when I was like, but 18, 19 was The Vanishing. You know, the Vanishing from George Clooney.
Yes.
That was creepy. That was really creepy.
Yeah, that is just a masterpiece.
Yeah, it really under my skin in a really bad way, because it's first of all, it's losing a loved one and trying to find out what happened to them. That's disturbing.
Yeah.
And then you see it from the point of view of the killer and why he did it, and it's just like, it's just so. Plus, that ending is just so horrible.
Yeah, and the fact that he's just having a picnic with his family. It's just.
I know.
That trestle table. It's just...
I know. Yeah, that's what I call true horror, that kind of thing that gets under your skin or something.
Yeah, I mean, that is a horror film without having the trappings of conventional horror.
Yeah. I remember reading that they showed that one in one of those horror festivals after they'd shown a lot of blood and gore films, and that was the film that freaked everyone out, because it was just so scary and so creepy.
And it's the deal with the devil he makes. It's like, do you want to know the truth? Do you want to know? Because I'll show you exactly what happened to her. And of course, he's just so obsessed with wanting to know what happened to her.
Yeah,
it's just
drink this drink and you'll know. And it's like,
yeah, it's just an amazing film.
Yeah, another one that's really creepy for me is Manhunter. That's another one that's just like,
Yeah, Manhunter's one of my favourites.
Yeah, again, because it's that idea of thinking like a psychopath, like how the thoughts just form in his head, and the kind of weird seeing the houses after the murders are just so creepy and weird, and
it's one of those films that you think is a lot more violent than it actually is.
Yeah,
because you're seeing the consequences and the results of violence rather than the actual violence. It just blew me away. Again, out of the video shop, I didn't know who Michael Mann was, obviously, at that time.
Yeah.
It's stunning. The scene in the mental institute with Brian Cox,
as
Hannibal Lecter, and it's pure white, antiseptic, which is the complete opposite of what's actually in the cell. That scene is just stunningly done.
Yeah, that's the kind of film that put everyone off Silence of the Lambs, or certain class of person.
Yeah, like, I mean, Silence of the Lambs to me is nowhere near Manhunter.
You see, it's a good film, but I just think Manhunter's just so much more. I mean,
in so many levels, I could bore you for hours, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, but I also found the new Hannibal show creepy as well. Not as creepy as Manhunter.
Really well done.
Yeah,
I was really surprised, especially the first season when it's more procedural.
Yeah,
it kind of loses its way a little bit in the third season, but
I still loved it because it was so outrageous and outlandish.
And it's just a shame they cancelled it.
I know.
Another season would have probably tied everything up, and
in very nice ways. So some of those creepy films really get under your skin. It's like they're not the most obvious thing. You mentioned Hellraiser. I mean, the first Hellraiser is creepy because it's got that idea of the universe, and the horrors. It's more of a Lovecraftian thing, but done by Clive Barker. It's like something beyond.
It's kind of one of the problems with Barker's work is the fact it is a little Lovecraftian, so it's difficult to actually visualise on the screen. I think that's part of the problem. But the ideas behind it, and still the scene where he comes back to life in the attic is still just gut-churningly well done.
Plus, Pinhead is a great creation. That's just a creepy image. It's like, oh, that's a new monster. That's just instantly, and he managed to do nothing with it.
No, he essentially became Freddy Krueger. They softened his makeup, gave him more zippy one-liners, and it's just like, that's not really what it was about.
Yeah, that's not what was scary about him.
Yeah, because in the original Hellraiser film, the Cenobites are only in it for like 10 minutes at the end.
Yeah, They aren't just enough to give you a sense of existential
Yeah.
dread, but there's something beyond the real world.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful, but it's just like it's never done that well again, really.
No, in the end, with Andy Robinson, with all the I mean, that's still 30 years later. It's still just amazing.
Yeah, it's a wonderful film. Another film that has from the late 80s that has lots of fascinating special effects that's aged really well. Society.
Yes, strangely enough, that was on my list.
Yeah, I thought it would be. It was like it was on my list too. It was just one of those ones that was like.
And again, I think I could be wrong. It was either the video shop, but I definitely know Movie Drome showed it. So I saw it on Movie Drome, but I don't know whether I'd already seen it in video or not. I can't remember.
I think I had. It was one of those ones that it came so close to seeing it in Movie Drome and the video shop. It was like.
Yeah.
It could have been both.
But again, when you see that film for the first time, it's just stunning. Because again, on the surface, you have this kind of shiny, happy, glossily shot. Everybody's beautiful. But then, obviously, as the film goes on, that's just the surface.
Yeah. It's obviously ripped apart the Reagan era and the very conventional way of doing things.
Beverly Hills 90210, and then it just takes a left turn, shall we say.
Yeah, no, it's really weird because it actually uses having like limited actors for an advantage.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be as good if they had good actors in it. It had to be actors who were a bit cheesy to make it really work. It's kind of like Starship Troopers in that way, where Starship Troopers is the same thing, where it wouldn't work if you had good actors. You had to have cheesy actors to make it work.
Yeah, that's a good example as well.
Yeah. That's a very creepy film. I'd call that a horror movie, Starship Troopers, but in a very political way.
It's political horror.
Yeah, it's like something you do not want to happen.
Well, I'll mention one, and it's going back, and it's Dead of Night from 1945.
Yep.
When I first saw that film, that creeped the hell out of me. I mean, I think we all know which episode is the most creepiest, and that's The Dummy.
I haven't seen that for
Michael
years.
Redgrave.
I haven't seen that for so long. I might well not have seen it because it's so. I saw it as a kid, but I haven't seen it for so long.
Yeah, it's just so creepy, and the fact the whole thing just comes as a cyclical nightmare. And the final scenes when they kind of montage all the episodes together, it's just, I still don't know how they actually got away with it in 1945, because it's really disturbing and creepy.
Yeah, I mean, killer dolls have never got to me at all. They just don't. They don't do anything for me. It's just like, I think they're funny. I mean, I like the Chucky films because they're funny, but there's no creep value at all. There's nothing. It's just like nothing there for me. But that's just what scares you.
Yeah, and then the end where Michael Redgrave starts actually speaking like the doll. That's
The only creepy doll that's got me is the you've seen Deep Red, where the doll that comes out when Vortigern gets killed. That was creepy, but apart from that, nothing's really got me in that area. It's just another one that from the 80s that I really like is From Beyond. It's same in Society, same group of people, Stuart Gordon. I mean, it came after Reanimator, but again, it was a Lovecraftian thing about going into another world. It's very campy, but there's a lot of good 80s campy stuff that obviously was influenced by Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. There's a lot of stuff there which I really enjoy that's kind of...
Yeah, and the effects still stand up, and the brain eating scene is...
Jeffrey Combs in a film is always good to have him camping it up somewhere. He's always fun.
One from the 70s from Amicus that I think we both did videos on or both like is The Beast Must Die, which for some reason is the one Amicus film that hasn't had a Blu-ray release yet. I think there's maybe a dodgy one in the States and the print's not that good. Yeah. But it's essentially an Agatha Christie with a werewolf, with Peter Cushing and the wonderful Calvin Lockhart, and it's just sensationally good. I remember seeing that as a kid, and it scared the shit out of me.
I never saw it until you recommended it to me recently. Yeah, Amicus is weird though, because there's a lot of a lot of sort of good anthology films, but I think some of the feature length films weren't that good. But there's always the ones that I think they just put money into and never cared about. They're the ones that were turned out well. Because I've got an Amicus film in mind that they even admitted they have no idea why it was a hit, which was Scream and Scream Again.
Yes.
Which I think is wonderful and really weird, because for 2/3 of the film you don't have a clue what the hell's going on. Like, nothing seems to match up. You have a fascist regime, you've also got another regime which is more democratic, and it's like, how do these interact? And nothing seems to make sense, and there's this killer monster who's killing these women and drinking their blood, and it's like, what the hell is this all about? And it's wonderfully weird, and there's a guy who's losing bits of his body as he lies in bed. Hence our photo here.
Yes.
And it's just wonderful, but it's really strange. And there's a lot of 70s films like that where they didn't have a clue what the hell they were doing. They just did something. It's just odd.
I mean, I would mention Hammer, one that probably, well, everybody knows about it. It's The Devil Rides Out, but it's probably, it's not Dracula and it's not Frankenstein.
But it's creepy.
But it is creepy. It's got Paul Eddington from Yes Prime Minister.
Yeah.
It's really well done. Yes, some of the effects are maybe aged a little, but the premise of it, Christopher Lee's just fantastic, because you don't know, he's a bit shady, maybe he's a goodie, maybe he's a baddie. Charles Gray's fantastic. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, Terence Fisher directed that one. He's this old style directing, but it really works in this one because he's moving the camera very slowly. It's the build up of atmosphere. There's always something going on. There's always this build up of creepiness like an old school craftsman can do. They're not caring about throwing stuff at the screen. It's just the atmosphere, and you know something's coming.
Yeah,
it really works. Because if you compare that to something like to the Devil or Daughter, which was made a decade later, which wasn't as good. It just was. It was just like cheesy, and they were throwing stuff at the screen and hoping for the best, because it obviously didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, even though everybody knows about it, I still think The Devil Rides Out's underrated somehow.
Yeah, because
and doesn't get the love it deserves, I don't think.
I've got a Christopher Lee one that's also underrated, which I think you've covered, Horror Express with Peter Cushing. That's another nice little one in a train. It works really nicely.
And the Arrow have done a really good job on that one as well, because you can actually see what's going on.
Yeah, that does help, doesn't it? I mean, it's funny that. And you get to see Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in scenes where they're pals rather than mortal enemies. I mean, they start off a bit bitchy to each other, but soon, once the situation gets obvious, a problem, they get together and sort it out.
Yes. Along similar lines, I did a random review on Nothing But the Night, which was a strange little film from 1973, I think, or 1972.
Yeah.
Or 1971, because it was made the same year as The Wicker Man, and that has Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing on the same side. It's about a weird orphanage, and it's just very strange. It's got Diana Dors in it.
I haven't seen it. It's on my wish list to see.
Yeah, it's a weird little film, but it's actually worth checking out. And again, it's one of those rare examples where Lee and Cushing are actually on the same side.
There's another Christopher Lee one I've got in my list where he's in it for 2 minutes, which is Deathline with Donald Pleasance.
I've still to rewatch that because
I rewatched it last week and it really stands up. It's really creepy because it's all about atmosphere and unease, and it's very early 70s with Britain is very dysfunctional, and Donald Pleasance is amazing in it, and the whole thing is just really creepy. I won't say any more. It's definitely worth seeing. There's a especially the lights out, and there's something there that's just very off.
Because again, I think Donald Pleasance is somehow underrated as an actor, because I think people kind of have him typecast as one thing, but I don't think he actually gets enough credit.
Yeah, because he was in like Polanski films. He was in The Great Escape. He's in a lot of films that isn't, Halloween.
Yeah.
And it's like, Halloween was like almost him like slumming. He's a straight-laced role.
Yeah.
If you look at him in something like Prince of Darkness or Escape from New York, he's having a lot more fun in those films than he is in Halloween.
Yeah. And he was also in that really strange but really effective Wake in Fright, which is an Australian film with Ted Kotcheff, which is actually really quite atmospheric and creepy in itself.
I haven't seen that one, but I've got it. I haven't watched it yet, though. It's on my list to
about
watch.
A teacher who gets lost in the outback. Donald Pleasence pops up. It's quite bizarre.
Yeah, he pops up a lot. I mean, I think there's a joke that Donald Pleasence never turned down a role, ever.
Yeah.
Just like, probably a bit like Christopher Lee, who probably never turned down many roles. Just like, yeah, okay.
I'm just going to bring up John Carpenter, and I think it is his most underappreciated film, and it's In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh yeah,
because that is actually a wonderful apocalyptic film and one of his best later films, but I don't think it gets enough credit.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that I'm definitely thinking of doing a video on at some point, because it's worth. There's something to it. It's also the fact that he uses the logic of madness as its plot, so there's no escape from it. It's like the plot is 40 bits intentionally, and it's really weird and creepy. Plus, Sam Neill's funny in it.
Yeah.
Until it gets too serious, and then it's like, oh, this is actually something I need to pay attention to.
Yeah, and it's even got Charlton Heston in it.
Yeah, for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, but towards the end, as the whole world falls apart, it does get pretty creepy and weird, and you've got the monsters coming from the world beyond. There is a kind of, it was very underrated when it came out, because I think a lot of people like Kim Newman, who normally supported these films, didn't like it, and there's a lot of people who were normally horror fans that weren't supportive of this one, and just never really got attention.
Yeah, I just think through the passage of time, it's getting a bit more kind of respect.
Well, good, because it really deserves it. It's one of those ones that really, it's kind of like The Exorcist 3, where it was hated on release, and then slowly over time it is getting building up some respect. You know.
I'll quickly mention another Sam Neill scene. We're talking about Sam Neill, but Event Horizon.
Right.
Again, with age, has aged really well, I think.
I disagree.
I think there's in the scenes where they flash back to hell, I think they are really well done, even though in the original cut they actually wanted to show them less of a flash and more explicit. I think they actually work better just as a flash. It's not a perfect film, a long stretch.
No, but
the ideas within it, I think, are interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those films. I like Sam Neill in it, but I think the film itself is a bit of a botched job. But it's enjoyable. I think it's an enjoyable film, but I don't think it really works. But I can see why people like it, though. It's one of those ones where I saw it in the cinema, I enjoyed it, but it hasn't aged well for me.
Yeah.
But I can see why people like it, though. It's one of those ones that's like, if you really like it, but I'm fine. It's like, there's nothing, I'm not going to judge you for it.
Hopefully there'll be a 4-hour cut released at some point now. That might be going a bit too far.
Yeah. And you'll be the only one watching it.
Probably.
Yeah. So, I've got one underrated one. It's from recent times. I'm not sure you've seen this one. It's called Cooties.
No, I haven't seen Cooties.
But the children who get rabid and start attacking the teachers in the school.
Yes, I've seen the video, the cover art, but I haven't actually seen the film.
It's really good fun. It's really enjoyable. It should have done a lot better than it did. I mean, there's a good cast in it. Everyone knows what kind of film they're in. It's just
Elijah Wood, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's like one of the guys from The Office as well. And I think, but it's just wonderfully silly, but also it takes the horror seriously. When the children attack, they take it seriously. So it's obviously, it feels very much like Prince of Darkness for me, where Prince of Darkness was in the church and there was a location the outside would try to get in. And this one, it's the children try to get in to this one location. It's that same kind of feeling to it, really. Like, there's a sense of humour, but it's taken very seriously. It's a very limited location. And it's just fun, it's just enjoyable.
Well, on a different tact, something that's fairly recent as well, but Bone Tomahawk.
Oh yeah, that's great.
with Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
and Kurt Russell, it's arguably his best kind of late career performance. I know people say Hateful Eight, but
What you mean?
and
You're
again,
not Fate and the Furious?
no, and again, it starts off as a fairly conventional old style western. It's got a very slow build up, but when it takes its left turn, it is a extreme left turn.
Yeah.
And it's really quite an impressive film.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I don't have it on my list, but because I think it's more of a western or horror movie, I think.
Yeah, but it certainly
it's very
goes
good.
horrible at the end.
I know, it goes pretty brutal. I mean, there's another one, Grim Prairie Tales, which you did a video on. I've seen that one as well, and it's really good.
Yeah, it's a nice little film.
Yeah, it's definitely worth trying to get hold of if you can, because it's nice, atmospheric, and very well done.
Yeah, hopefully one day Arrow will do us a favour.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of good stuff recently, so I think there's always a chance I will actually see it and put it out. I mean, there's another one recently called A Field in England, Ben Wheatley's one.
Still on my watch list.
It's very good. It's very weird, and it's one of those films that's best to know as little about it as possible. Just watch it and don't know anything about it. It's the best way to do it, because it's got this very kind of. It's just hard to explain the plot. It's just go and see it if you can see it.
Yeah, I mean, another modern one that I did a video on is Baskin. It's Turkish, and it is really quite strange. It's about a group of policemen who investigate this old house, and it goes obviously horribly wrong. But as far as atmosphere and creepiness, it's really works quite well. It's not a great film, but it's certainly a little bit unnerving at times.
Yeah, it's I haven't seen that one at all. Yeah, it's one of those ones I need to get round to at some point. There's another one. I've got one that's almost a modern anthology film that came out a few years ago called Excel the Dead. You seen that one?
Nope, haven't seen that one either.
It's good. It's Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings movies in it. That's probably how we finance. Ron Perlman's in it as well. It's just it's about these grave robbers, and there's all these. It's a really hard one to explain. I guess another one. It's best to go see it like blind.
Yeah.
It's kind of a riff on Buck and Hare things, but it's more an anthology thing. It's best to know as little about it as possible. Just go in and see it. It's one of those ones. It's hard to explain, but it's just mentioning it again. I think I should really watch that again.
Yeah. Well, let's go back in time. I mean, I suppose it's probably not underrated now, but Carnival of Souls.
Oh yeah, I've just got that the Criterion one. It was in sale last week. I just got it. Haven't watched it again.
Again, it's one of those films that when you watch it for the first time, you kind of go, "Did I actually really watch that, or did I imagine parts of it?"
Yeah.
It is finally getting a lot more recognition than it did 20 years ago, but it's a forerunner for elements of Night of the Living Dead, and just kind of really odd.
Yeah, I heard. Cheeker's Ladder ripped it off a lot as well.
Yeah.
I saw it in Moviedrome, and I've only recently bought it in Criterion, so I've not seen it for years. But I'm looking forward to seeing it again. But yeah, I know what you mean. Just remembering it, it's like I remember bits of it, and it's very dreamlike and weird. It's
definitely one of those midnight movies that you watch late at night, and then the following day, it's like, did I dream part of that, or did it actually happen? Or
yeah. It's from what I remember, it was terrific, but I just have not seen it for so long. It's one of those ones I just need to. Well, I have bought it, so I am going to see it. It's just It's there's another one I haven't seen that's apparently is sort of similar as Let's Kiss Jessica to Death. Apparently it's really good.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good though. I've got a Toby Hooper one from the 70s called Eaten Alive. You seen that one?
Yes, I have. I found it to be okay, but
I really liked it. But it's cheesy though. It's really cheesy. It's
Robert Englund in an early performance.
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones. It's cheesy, and you're either gonna love it or hate it. Or just be what?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Life Force. Life Force is the same thing. Where it's like really cheesy and.
If you go with it, Life Force is really enjoyable. But if you actually think about it, it's
Because you always have to watch Life Force and the international cut. The American cut is incomprehensible. You have a lot of Toby Hooper stuff in the 80s is great fun, but it's cheesy as hell, and you have to kind of accept that as part of of what it's about. Really, it's cheesy.
I mean, one that you recently did a video on, which again isn't a horror film, but there's a moment in it that's always freaked me out, and that's Phase 4.
Oh yeah.
And it's when they find the farmers and they prise his hand open and he has 3 holes across his palm.
Oh yeah.
That moment's always creeped me out for some reason.
Yeah, it was a poster thing as well. They knew they had something.
It was just...
Yeah. I think Phase 4 has that nice kind of there's a bit of creepiness to the film. It's not scary, but there's something about it that kind of is kind of underrated and weird and interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've a general one now. It's just the Quatermass films or TV shows. Quatermass general.
Yes.
They're all great. They're all interesting, but they are kind of underrated and not seen as much as they should be.
Yeah, and they're full of ideas that are probably ahead of their time, and just really well done.
Yeah, the other ones I need to do a video on, but I just need to sit and watch them again and to do it properly. But they're all just wonderful. They're just really. If you're looking for something good for the Halloween period, Quatermass is like a classier version of. These are classy films. These are worth seeing because they've good ideas and they're creepy.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, one that's probably not underrated and might not count as a horror, but Neil Marshall's The Descent. Poor Neil Marshall with his Hellboy disaster. But The Descent was his second film, and it's just fantastic, claustrophobic, and just wonderful.
Yeah, I never got that. I've seen it, but it never really got to me at all. It was just one of those ones that never really.
I would never go cave diving.
I wouldn't go anyway, but but that
it's
one
not
is
as if I was packed up ready to go, and then I saw that. It's like, no, you're right.
No, but it's another one that's in the horror films. Some films get you, other films just don't do anything for you. It's like they can say this is terrifying. You're like, no, it's not. And there's someone else that's terrifying. It's just like it's one of those things.
What's the most terrifying about it is how they ended it in America, because they changed the ending.
Oh yeah, they made them survive. Yeah, that's
more terrifying.
Yeah. I always think that a film should have something dark at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring up 2 films that are in a series from the 70s that there should have been at least a third one, but there wasn't. Count Yorker films. You've seen those? They're great fun, cheesy 70s. Just plus a so low budget. It's like the griminess of them actually makes them scarier than actually. They're the kind of films that you actually want to see in the worst possible condition rather than the best possible condition.
Yes, an old VHS copy.
Yeah, there are the kind of films that you actually don't want to see the Blu-rays of, even though I've got them in Blu-ray. You kind of want to see the one that's been all the scrapes in the print and you barely see stuff. Yeah. That's where you want to see these films. I mean,
well, if you bring up Count Yorga, I know nobody actually likes it, but I'm going to bring up Blackula, because Blackula is just fantastic. William Marshall is wonderful. He's such a classy actor. You actually feel sorry for him at the end. You feel sorry for him because he meets Count Dracula at the start, and Count Dracula's a bit of a racist.
What a shocker.
I know. Count Dracula's a bit of a racist and pretty much curses what becomes Blackula. It's 70s camp, but it's just a really nice little film.
Yeah, I like Yorker better. Yorker films better, but yeah, I've got Blackula films in Blu-ray too.
Yeah.
I like the first one better than the second one, though.
Yeah, the first one is better than the second one.
Second one meanders a bit, but it gets good towards the end when they go around that house and all the staking stuff. I know that's what's the best thing about it is Pam Grier's in it. But yeah, Blackula's really good fun. But yeah, they would never get
70s vampire films. You can't beat them.
Yeah, another one, some Larry Cohen films. You've got Q the Winged Serpent. You've got Stuff. You've got a lot of like films from that. God Told Me To. Like all those films.
God Told Me To is a really creepy little atmospheric film.
It's another one I've only seen in the worst possible print, but again, it feels right for the film.
Yeah, same here.
It just feels like some of his films need the kind of horrible scratches on the print, and it just needs that.
The Stuff is just fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's still relevant, more relevant than it ever was.
It's funny as hell.
Really good.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of films. I've got one that's a terrible film I'm going to bring up. This is unwatchably bad, but wonderfully bad. And it's a sequel to a film that deserves so much better.
You're talking about The Exorcist 2?
I'm not talking about that because everyone knows I love that. Everyone who sees my channel knows I love that film. I'm talking about Howling 2.
Oh, Howling 2. That is quite terrible, but I do have it.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee looking completely confused throughout the whole film.
Aghast, yeah. I mean, Exorcist 2 I've got 2 copies of in Blu-ray.
Fair enough.
I got it in the anthology collection, then I got the Scream Factory one.
I'm not going to judge, because...
You get two different cuts of it, plus you get John Boorman commentary. I'm an arch defender of Exorcist 2.
Yes.
But Howling 2 it has the weirdest sex scene ever with Sybil Danning and that
yes.
Where she said it was hard to do anything because it was just coming off on her and everything else, and this is such a bad film, and the lead actor Red Brown is so awful in it.
The documentary of the making of it is much more interesting than the actual film. But
I know, it's just such a terrible film, but it's wonderful.
Yes, it's an essential purchase.
Yes, he says defensively.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it in a disc only thing where I bought it from some seller, so I didn't pay much money for it. That's my defence.
I think I got it in an Arrow sale.
Yes. There's lots of films I've got in Arrow sales that is like, I'm not going to tell them I've got this. I'm just not going to bother. Just hide it.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure this counts as a horror film, but it's a fairly recent one, Martyrs, a French film.
I have it, but I haven't watched it.
It is strong stuff. I think it was actually remade by America.
I heard it was terrible.
I heard it's terrible, but it's really creepy and disturbing. I won't spoil it for you, but it's a really interesting film, and again, the concept of why the things in the film are happening is really quite interesting as well.
Yeah. Say no more.
Yes.
I'm going to watch it, just haven't around to watching it yet. I've been hearing about it, but it's one of those ones I'm just stealing myself for. It's like,
yes.
Because I mean, I got some Fright Fest films, and all the stuff they show in Fright Fest.
Yeah.
They release them on Amazon streaming sometimes, they're cheap. So I've got a bunch of those films to watch as well. That the Man vs. Film covered quite a lot of them. So I got my interest, so I'm now kind of thinking of watching them. There's stuff like Night Sitter and things, just really weird looking films. It could be good, could be bad, or Sting with the Wind and things like that. So we'll see what they're like. Oh, hope for the best.
Will we talk about Jacques Tourneur films for 5 minutes?
Okay.
I mean, again, I think more and more of them are being into the public eye. Obviously, Night of the Demon.
Yep.
Powerhouse Indicator did a great release of it last year. These films are wonderful on a shoestring budget, but the atmosphere is just wonderful.
Yeah, my favourite's A Walk with a Zombie. That's my favourite of his.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one for a while. And again, that's not really that readily available, is it?
I had to buy it from America.
Yeah.
It's I really love Night of the Demon, but A Walk with a Zombie I really think is there's just that atmosphere of that one just really gets me.
Yeah, and obviously cat people.
Yeah.
And
There's a whole bunch of them. Like
Yeah.
I've got quite a few of them. The Val Gluten ones. There's other stuff like Seven Victim
Yeah.
and Ghost Ship, which I haven't watched yet, but they're on my like kind of films I tend to watch like in January when it's really cold. You want the atmosphere and black and white
Yes.
just feels right for watching them. So
But it's just perfect examples of doing more with less. And
yeah,
the ideas behind them are just like so good.
yeah. I mean, I love the old Universal horror stuff as well. I've got like so many of those films. Like, but the best one is still the old Dark House. It's so good.
Yes. Would you
Eh.
like a potato?
Yeah. I mean, I also love Bride of Frankenstein. Those are my two favourites, James Whale stuff, but I've got them all. I've got them all in my Blu-ray.
Yes.
I've spent way too much money on them.
Do you have any slashers that aren't the usual slashers?
Um,
I've got Intruder, which is on 101 Film Slasher Collection, which is... It's not a great film, it's set in a supermarket.
is that the one
There's
by?
some really interesting deaths, and it's got a really interesting ending when the police arrive.
Is that one with Ted Raimi? Seen that one? Was that?
Possibly. I also recently picked up Skinner, which is the new 101 Films,
Yeah.
which I didn't realise was directed by Heidi Fleiss's boyfriend. who
Jesus.
got involved in that. But this was actually made before that,
Yeah.
and it was seen as a Silence of the Lambs rip-off, but it was actually made at the same time as Silence of the Lambs, or before
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs. It's not great, but it does have some interesting moments.
Yeah. I saw a review of it last night, but I haven't got it yet. It's just one of those ones that's like it's on my list for whenever one has more another sale on or something. I just haven't.
Yeah,
Pretty around
I
to
mean
it.
it's not great, but it's the extras on it are really interesting.
Yeah, I do have a slasher one that's a bit to the side. It's Your Next.
Haven't seen that one.
It's about a family who are getting taken out one by one, and it's one of those ones best to see not knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's a guy who did The Guest. This was his first film,
Right.
and it's very good. But I don't want to say anything about it beyond it involves a family and killings. And it's sort of weird twists in a slasher movie. Another one that I did have videos on, which was Prevenge and Revenge.
Yes.
Both of them are very good. They're very interesting films. They're kind of different taking slasher movies because they're dealing with one's a woman dealing with three rapist men in the kind of desert, and another one's a woman who's pregnant and going slowly mad, killing people. And they're both good. I mean, they involve people dying one by one, which makes them kind of slasher-y, but they're not slasher movies. Which is kind of what I like more than slasher movies. I like people in that kind of environment that causes death, but they're not like Michael Myers type of thing.
Yeah.
That's more my kind of slasher movie. Or the Italian giallo movies really are the what I much prefer a giallo movie than I do to a slasher movie.
Yeah, there's some really good giallos.
Yeah.
Do you have any ghost stories?
Well, the obvious one is Shining, but that's so obvious it's not really a underrated one.
The one I had was The Innocents, but again, that's fairly obvious with Deborah Carr. That's just fantastic.
Yeah. There's also Ghost Stories, which came out a few years ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet either.
It's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's one of those ones. It came out and we get so much praise, and it's like it's not quite as good as that, but it is good. It's that kind of you have to keep.
And for me, probably my favourite Guillermo del Toro, The Devil's Backbone, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, I like Pan's Labyrinth, but it's nowhere near as good for me as Devil's Backbone.
Yeah, as you know, I'm a big Del Toro fan, so
Yeah.
I like all of them. But yeah, I mean, Devil's Backbone is definitely an underrated one because it's like not as seen as highly as some of the other ones, and it is terrific. But I
Yeah,
also
I think
really like.
oh, sorry, I was just going to say, I think that's the one he went back to do after Blade 2 to cleanse himself from Blade 2.
No, he did it before Blade 2.
Did he do it before Blade 2?
He did Blade. He did
Oh, it was
that.
after Mimic. It was after
Yeah,
Mimic.
yep. Basically, he did Devil's Backbone, knowing he was doing Blade 2 next. So Blade 2 paid for Devil's Backbone, basically.
Yeah.
It means he could do Devil's Backbone and then get paid for Blade 2 so he wouldn't be skint.
To get over Mimic, I think.
Yes. I love Blade 2. I have nothing against Blade 2.
I've got the trilogy, so don't worry.
Yeah, the third one is boy. Oh boy. Yeah, the it is kind of I did like Crimson Peak. It was underrated and it's a bit slow. Needed to lose 20 minutes, but I still really enjoyed it, even though especially the second half as I get more into the melodrama and weirdness.
Yeah, and Kronos is one of the best debuts ever. It's a really nice film as well.
Yeah, I mean, Del Toro stuff tends to be very good, but it's never underrated. It's always well received. An underrated. Here's one I wouldn't call a horror movie, but I think is a nightmare movie, and it is underrated compared to the director's other films, which is The Prestige.
Yes,
It's kind of it was lost between the Batman films a bit, but I think
it's not really talked about as much.
But I think it's Nolan's best film by a mile, and I think Christian Bale was really good in it in this kind of nightmarish part. And I think it's one of Hugh Jackman's best performances where his kind of show offiness actually comes into play.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Hugh Jackman fan in the world, but he's really good in this.
Yeah, it's just, plus it's all the stuff I love, which is like magic, crazy revenge plots, obsessions. It's like Victorian times. Just get everything that I really love in a film. So I was very pleased that was made.
What about creature features?
Could you really get into? I've actually been through all my list now. Creature features, Monster Squad.
Well, I think seeing Robert Forster died recently, I think it's worth mentioning Alligator, which perhaps isn't a horror film, but
it's very good. And you can't really.
That's an excellent B movie.
Yeah, we can't mention that without mentioning Piranha.
Yeah.
Piranha is also another John Sayles. Just mention John Sayles when you want to. Come on.
Yeah, I wasn't going to, but John Sayles wrote the scripts for both of them.
Yeah, and even Piranha, the remake Piranha in 3D is good as well. It's good fun. It's not as good as Piranha, but it's still a good, enjoyable film.
Yeah.
It's utterly trashy, but it's still enjoyable. But anything with monsters, I'll probably enjoy it. But I mean, the Monster Squad definitely deserves mention because it's hard to find copies of.
One that I just mentioned would be Cujo, which Eureka has actually recently released in a really nice set. Again, a film that I never really bothered with originally, but watching it again, it is actually a nice little film.
I saw it as a kid and I thought it was scary. I'd read the book before and I thought the book was scary as well. But I've not seen it since the late 80s, so I cannot say anything about it.
All the kind of stuff about family and things like that, and it actually, I think, is a lot better than what it was when it came out in 1983.
Yeah. There's I'm mentioning one because it's really bad, but I enjoy it, which is Congo. It's a creature feature of Killer of Apes.
Yes.
It's terrible, but it's really enjoyable because it's so wrong.
It's one of Tim Curry's subtlest performances.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring it up, right, is I want to mention the same director Frank Marshall did Arachnophobia, which is a good film.
Yes, Arachnophobia is a really good film.
I just thought I'd bring up Congo before I mentioned Arachnophobia. It was funny. Because bring up his worst one before you bring up his best one.
Yes. There was a rumour that they're remaking Arachnophobia, but I haven't heard anything else.
Yeah, why bother?
Hopefully not. I know.
Because all the actors in it are still popular. With John Goodman, Jeff Daniels, it's like they're all still working.
Yeah.
I saw that in the cinema and it was really good. The atmosphere, the people were all going. It's good fun.
The spiders and the popcorn.
Yeah. Does a Mars Attack count as creature feature? Because the Martians attacking the Earth and it's a comedy, but it's still funny as hell.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that one because I was never really that much of a fan of it when it came out.
Oh no, I'm obsessively big fan of that one. That was one of the ones I saw twice in a weekend.
Was that before Ed Wood or after Ed Wood?
Just after Ed Wood, that was his follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Wood I absolutely adore.
Yeah.
I'll just mention one, and again, it's not underrated probably, but Black Sunday by Bava. Again, that was a film that I saw late at night in BBC Two probably.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those dreamlike films that the following day you wonder whether you saw stuff or imagined stuff.
Yeah, I've got it on Blu, but I haven't watched it for a long time. But I remember the atmosphere more than anything else about it.
Yeah.
Kill Baby Bava is really good. That's really atmospheric.
Yeah, that's another one.
Little Girl Satan, which was right up top of Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, especially the kind of scene where the characters keeps running through the same room and they can't get out of the same room. It's just nicely done. Because again, Bava did a lot with not a lot of money.
Have you seen Lisa and the Devil?
Yes, that's sparking.
Have you seen the other one, House of Exorcism? The recut of it.
No, I haven't seen that one.
They cut in a. Well, that's already a barking film, but they end up cutting it up and putting in scenes of exorcism as a way of getting round the fact the plot made no sense. Where Lisa has to be exorcised from the demon inside her. So this very bad Exorcist rip-off within that film.
Yeah, that sounds almost as bad as Manhattan Baby by Fulci. The producers, because The Exorcist was popular, wanted like exorcism scenes, so there's a scene where a bed just goes up and down for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, but nothing's as weird as Heretic. I don't care what you say, nothing's as weird as that film.
I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah,
that's my excuse.
Yeah, I've only mentioned it in about 20 videos. It's like I'm obsessively mentioned that one.
Everybody knows number 3's the best in the series.
I like the sequels more than I like the original by a mile. I mean, I like.
Again, I think it's the passage of time, but The Exorcist to me is just not really that good. I know that might be sacrilege to some people, but again, I think it's just the passage of time. It's one of those films that I would have loved to have seen in the cinema in 1973, along with Alien in 1979 and Jaws in 1975.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the sequels are more interesting than most of them. Like I just think there's nowhere else to go but weird, and the sequels go weird and interesting.
I mean, I suppose I should have The Exorcist just because of Max von Sydow, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, since we've mentioned Exorcist 3, we have to mention Changeling.
Yes.
That's a good film.
That is again, I've said this, I don't know how many times, I'm not the biggest George C. Scott fan, but I've got a load of his films, so I don't know what that says.
Yeah.
The Changeling has a couple of genuinely scary moments.
Yep.
The ball bouncing down the stairs is just...
Yeah. See, I haven't seen it for
the wheelchair in the stairs.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a decade, but I just remember the atmosphere of it. It was just remember it being creepy and...
Yeah, Second Sight did a really nice set, and it is really good.
Yeah.
As far as a chiller.
Yeah, it's a creepy film. I mean, there's a lot of Asian films I quite like that are kind of go towards supernatural, but a lot of the time they go towards the more cheesy side of supernatural.
Yeah.
But I still
like... Obviously you get The Ring, but that's not really underrated.
Well, The Ring 2 is, or Spiral, which is the other Ring 2, which is really barking mad.
Yes.
But I want underrated one. The Ring Zero is underrated. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really creepy.
That's a nice little film.
Yeah. There's. I've lost what I was going to say there. But yeah, I seem to quite like a lot of the Asian look at supernatural. They always seem to be interesting, a bit odder and...
Yeah, because they always seem to have a link with folklore or legends or things like that.
But it also feels much more tied to their lives rather than something that's other and outside. I mean, the Grudge is quite good. The first Grudge has that kind of weird, creepy feel to it as well. But and of course, Audition, which is real horror.
Yes, that's realistic horror.
That's horror at the the most
Yes,
basic and terrifying.
that's a lovely, gentle film for about an hour and a quarter.
Yep. I bought a film called Piercing, which has just come out. That's based on the same, a novel by the same novelist as Audition. But I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't heard about that one.
It's Mia Wachowski's in it, and it's about this guy who's instincts to kill people, and he plans to do it one weekend away from his family, and he ends up going up against Mia Wachowski, who's also a bit of a killer. So it's basically a mind game thing. So I haven't watched it yet.
Sounds interesting.
Yep. So I got it in cheap, and so I'll see what it's like.
So what would you say is your favourite horror film of all time?
The Thing.
Thing?
The Thing. It's got to be The Thing. It's, what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, if The Thing's in the category, I can't really think of anything else, to be honest. It's perfect. It's a perfect example of how to do an ensemble cast where everybody has an important part, everybody's written so well, you feel that these guys are real in that situation. I love the way just simple details like they don't call each other Christian names, even though they're obviously isolated up there. It's just so fantastic.
But okay, runner up then, since we've got The Thing out of the way.
Yeah, it's like
I'd go for The Vanishing. Is my runner up one.
Yeah, again, if that's in the category, that's not, you can't really argue with that much as far as realistic terror.
Then there's Manhunter, which again we're built. It's like
it's.
I think most of the films we've mentioned here, especially early in the video, definitely worth seeing. I think most of them we mentioned are worth seeing.
Yeah.
You may be confused by some of them, and you may be wondering why it was recommended. But if you have one choice, a film you have to see, it has to be The Howling 2.
Fair enough. That encapsulates what cinema is truly about.
Yeah.
No,
oh no, seriously, you've probably all seen The Thing. You've probably all seen Manhunter, but if you haven't seen The Vanishing, try and see The Vanishing, because Vanishing, you will be scared.
Not the remake.
The remake's okay, but it's an abomination compared to the original. It's that kind of thing. It was like, on its own, it's okay, but compared to the original, it's an utter abomination.
Yeah, the way the original's shot, it's almost like documentary shot. It's not stylized in any way. It's just matter of fact, and that just makes it even more chilling. Yeah,
but the one thing the remake has that the original doesn't have, though, is Sandra Bullock dies in it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
No, it's something unusual for viewers. I thought I'd better say something nice about the remake.
Yeah, that was before Speed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before she was famous.
Yep. So, hopefully we've enjoyed this ramble through horror.
Yes,
I went further than I expected, but hopefully we enjoyed it.
Please let us know in the comments below what your favourite horror films are.
Yep.
Which little underrated gems you would recommend to us.
Yes. And also, have you seen The Howling 2?
Yes.
We want to know. We want to know if we're the only two weirdos who've seen it.
Yes, that's the most important question of the day.
Yeah. And this goes out to SGS Films. You better have seen Howling 2. I think you're the last person to ever watch it. He's never going to watch this film.
No, that's probably.
Right, anyway, so I hope you all enjoyed it.
Thanks very much for watching.
Yep, and hopefully it wasn't too much of a ramble. But we had fun anyway. Bye.
Hi.